Peace, party people. This is Dan Cherzomi of Where My Killer Tape At, here doing another episode of All Things Geekery. Happy New Year, and this is going to be about my top favorite comic books, 5 of them, of 2017. Check it out. I just want to warn everybody, if you don't know me already from my podcast or anything else that I've done, I'm a Marvel guy. But I also love Image. So I read a lot of independent stuff. And trust me, there's a lot of dope stuff that came out in 2017. But again, these are my top 5 of 2017. So don't trip. But if you want to fight the street, we can do it too. So we're going to start off with number 5. The first one comes from Image Comics. And it's a Bitch Planet triple feature. By Kelly Sue DeConnick and Valentine Delandro. Bitch Planet was actually one of my favorites of 2016. So I was kind of mad when they stopped at 10, and then they gave us this triple feature thing, which at first I was skeptical, but then I was like, I checked it out, and I got it digitally. So I was really impressed by it because Bitch Planet is actually dope. But not only is it like a dope story, it's just that the universe that it's in, it's like really, really dope. A really quick synopsis is pretty much kind of like what we see now, you know, sexism and misogyny, just much more systemic, like much more overly systemic. And there's a planet where they put women in prison for really stupid ass crimes, right? So this one is really dope, and I like that these stories deal with other parts of that universe. So it's kind of like Bitch Planet times 10. So I really loved it. The trade is going to be out. It's already out now. It came out in December 2017. So definitely, I recommend that one. That's number 5. Number 4 is going to be this one published by this company called Black Mask. And Black Mask put out a lot of dope stuff in 2016 and 2017. And this one is called Black. And it actually started in 2016 and concluded in 2017. It's a really dope 6 issues. And pretty much it's by this guy named Kwanzaa Osafeyo and Tim Smith III. Guys I've never heard of before, but it's an independent joint. And the premise is a world where only black people get superpowers. So I really love it because, and this is, a subliminal diss to Bright. Yeah, I said it. This is how you do social commentary using, whether it's fairy tales or superheroes and stuff like that. This is how you do it. And it's in the same context of like Black Lives Matter. And I think it works here in Black. I mean, it really, really works. And if you can get a hold of this, you probably can. You can probably get the trade now. But it's really dope. Again, shout out to Black Mass. They really put out a dope joint. Highly recommended. Number 3 in this list is World of Wakanda. And this is by, the phenomenal Roxane Gay. And an artist that I'm not familiar with, Aletha Martinez. I'm clearly unfamiliar with her, but this is dope. The artwork is dope. Roxane Gay does her thing. Also, in this series, Afua Richardson does a lot of the covers. So Afua Richardson is the bomb, But anyway, it's written in the black, in Wakanda, right? And this is the one that kind of like Ta-Nehisi put together, which is a Wakanda of old, right? Of Jack Kirby and Priest and Reginald Hudlin, but he puts his own spin on it. And I like this story, particularly issues 1 through 5, because they deal with 2 of the Dora Milaje, Anika and Ayo. And I think what I love is that, first of all, Ta-Nehisi is probably the only few writers at Marvel Comics that actually centered the story inside the Marvel Universe after Secret Wars 2015. And Roxane Gay does the same thing. And what I love is that in this series, they actually reference a lot of the crossovers from before, like AVX, Avengers vs. X-Men, Infinity, where Thanos came to invade the Earth and everything. So they reference all those things. But I love the fact that, and it's funny because you would think this would have got more love, because the reason why people like the Netflix stories is because they have a great supporting cast. And I think Roxane Gay does a good job of taking the supporting cast, particularly Dora Milaje, and making a wonderful story about it. So I really, really loved it. You can get it on trade now, but I know that Marvel has since canceled it. So boo to you, Marvel. Number 2 on my top 5 of 2017 comes from Image Comics, and it is Kill or Be Killed. And this is, of course, by the wonderful Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. For those of you that don't know who Ed Brubaker is, he's done some really dope stuff. Captain America, pretty much the Winter Soldier storyline that you saw in the movie. That's him. And, you know, he does a whole bunch of, like, non-superhero stories, in particular criminal. And they're really, really amazing. I highly recommend it. But anyway, Kill or Be Killed. Actually, they're on volume 2 now, their trade. And it's by Image. And the premise is this guy who kind of like botches his own suicide. And then a demon grabs him and pretty much says, I'll let you live if you kill one person per month. The only caveat is that person has to be like really, really evil, right? So it's really interesting. I love it because you don't know if the main character, is like tripping or if it's really going on. And then he gets into the questions of morality, like how do you pick who deserves to die? So it's really dope, very fast paced, violent and gory, but I really, really enjoy it. Okay, drum roll for my number 1 comic book of 2017. Is also brought to you by Image Comics. And let me just say this, Invincible has been in my top 5 for like the last 5 years. So if you haven't reading Invincible, I don't know where you've been at. It's also created by Robert Kirkman. He actually, if I'm not mistaken, he did Invincible before he did Walking Dead. But he's about to conclude this series. The last issue comes out this month, January 2018. But it is the number 1 of 2017, in my humble opinion. And look, it's written by Robert Kirkman and it's drawn by Ryan Otley, the wonderful Ryan Otley, who's doing your thing. Yo, I love you, man. Shout him out on Twitter. He always shows me love. But he's gonna finish it. The last one is coming out, and it's pretty much the same premise as Superman, right? But it's a race called the Viltrumites, and they figure out, hey, we're the most powerful beings in the universe. Why don't we just take over the universe? And one of them, his name is Omni-Man. They call him Omni-Man. He comes to Earth, and he actually like stays here. He joins like the Avengers of that universe. They call the Guardians of the Globe. And he actually ends up marrying a human and having a child who is invincible. That's his name. And later on, he lets the cat out the bag, but he can't kill his only son, so he leaves. And then it goes on from there. It's a really dope story. You got to read it from the beginning. Hopefully, they're going to do just like they did with the Walking Dead series. They have compendiums. But it's a wonderful story. I'm sad to see it end. But, you know, like Lauryn Hill said, all good things come to an end. And, you know, let's hope that he continues some part of that series somewhere else or someone else does. But that's it, my top 5. I hope you enjoy it. Again, leave your answers in the comments. If you want to fight in the street, we can fight in the street. However you want to do this. Also, check out my podcast with my killer tape at. Peace.